ये इसका फोकस यहाँ पर है, यहाँ पर मिडिल में कहाँ है? इधर है ना?
अगर आप चाहें तो एयर स्पेस तो रनिंग स्पेस कैसे?
यहाँ तक, यहाँ तक।
हाँ, यहाँ पर भी स्पेस देते हैं।
चलें बिस्मिल्लाह करें। अच्छा जी, बिस्मिल्लाह रहमान रहीम। ऑपरेशन मैनेजमेंट, आज की डिस्कशन में वी विल बी डिस्कसिंग अबाउट द प्रोडक्टिविटी एंड आई विल बी इंट्रोड्यूसिंग यू विद द टॉपिक ऑफ ऑपरेशन मैनेजमेंट. So you see, in this topic we will be discussing practically through the Hard Rock Cafe, that how Hard Rock Cafe has really implemented operation management and achieved a success, a comparative advantage through operation management. हमने what we studied in the last class, we studied the Hard Rock Cafe, that how in 53 countries how Hard Rock Cafe managed to deliver in their restaurants. So the distinct advantage of Hard Rock Cafe among other cafes was their number of dishes, the quality of services, you remember, and the quality of the food specifically, and the ambience they were delivering. So because of that, Hard Rock Cafe had a distinct advantage among other restaurants. So we start operation management with the understanding that how any restaurant, any service industry, any manufacturing industry can improve its operation through operation management. So we require the proper operation management when we talk about the complexity, the complex scenario, when we talk about the restaurants who is making millions of dishes every single day, who is managing suppliers across the world, who has the operations in more than 53 countries. So there comes the operation management. ठीक है? Taimur, next slide. So this is the book. I hope you already have known about it. So this is our textbook, and we will be discussing everything about the operation management from this book. There are many other books, but specifically I will be focusing on this book. So Jay Hazer is the writer, and Barry Render. So they are Chuck Munson is the third writer. So you can find the latest version of that book. I hope that many of you would buy, and the soft copy would be available through Taimur, and your WhatsApp group, I hope, is already made. Next. Acha, when we talk about the quotes, so everything is priority, then nothing is priority. We already known that in time management, we prioritize our task. If we do not prioritize, we can never manage to complete the task timely. So we need to plan the task on the priority basis, okay, which is more important and which is less important. So importance is very much important in managing the operations. And how can we do that? We can do that when we have the data of the operations. Okay? And we'll be discussing afterwards. The secret of success is to do the common thing uncommonly well. So I just talked about the restaurant. There are many restaurants across the world, but Hard Rock Cafe is different. Why? Because they are doing the common thing uncommonly well. So any restaurant, any business like Walmart is one of the top retailer across the world. Okay? They have the revenue, more than 600 billion revenue. Why? Because they are very well managing their operations. Okay? Like Google, like Microsoft and other companies. Next. As we discuss about the Hard Rock Cafe, we will be discussing the case study of the Hard Rock Cafe in the end of the presentation. How many of you have studied at home the topics I taught in the last class? How many of you? Very good. Good that you guys studied, but very few of you. Chale. I hope ke other you will be sharing the book, and the rest of you will be studying as well. Aage next. Achha, operation management definition is very important. I already made you write. So operation management definition is when you create a value, ठीक है, when you create the value by transforming input into output. When you create the value, basically value is something which is in demand. You fulfill the demand through transformation of input. ठीक है, so this is basically, and you see production is part of the operation management, and production is specifically the creation of the goods. So production in services, production, I am producing the service. Right now I am producing the service. When you go to the hospital, the doctor check you or examine you, that is the production of services. ठीक है? When you call the Food Panda, when you give the order to the Food Panda delivers you, that is the production of service. When this marker is being manufactured, it is the production of this marker. So production is everywhere in the service and in the manufacturing as well. Next, Samur. Acha, we know that there are multiple functions in every organizations. Multiple functions. ठीक है? Like marketing, sales, HR, accounts, finance. Okay. But we see there are only few functions which are mandatory for any organization. No organization can run without the few mandatory functions. So these are marketing, production, and finance and accounting. Okay, these are the mandatory functions. Without these functions, no organization can work. Okay? Either they outsource or do by themselves. In both cases, they need to have the three functions. I gave you this example of a company, the youngest billionaire of the world. She's operating the company of 5 employees, and she is doing all these mandatory functions by herself. So what she is doing? How can she manage 3 departments with the 5 people? The question is. So she is managing through outsourcing, and actually this is the right case. You see, outsourcing is in vogue. Okay, it's in fashion. Why? Because the companies are focusing on their expertise. They are focusing on the best they can. Like Unilever. Unilever is producing, is not manufacturing its own Surf Excel, but only packaging it. इसी तरीके से GSK is not manufacturing Panadol. Instead, it is only packing it. So you see, the companies are focusing on their expertise. So they are managing their cost and focusing on the branding, focusing on their long-term goals. So this is it. Any questions so far? Anything which is unclear? So you may ask anytime. No problem. जी. Organizational chart में अगर आप देखेंगे, any bank like commercial bank, so there are 3 operations. अब you see operations, when we talk about the operations, supply chain comes under it. ठीक है, supply chain comes under it, logistics come under it, ठीक है ना, warehousing comes under it, production comes under it. ठीक है, you see all the maintenance come under it, security comes under it, administration comes under it. ठीक है, there are multiple functions that comes under it. Next, Kareem. Next. Finance, you see these are the sub functions of any department. Finance, investment, security, and accounting, auditing, marketing. You see in the bank, you see commercial, industrial, financial, personal, trust department, वगैरह. Next. अच्छा, let's take an example of an airline. So you see in the airline operations, if we see the airline operations in the 3 departments, that how they are managing within the 3 departments. So you see operations are being managed by the ground support equipment and maintenance, ground operations, flight operations, and management, finance, and marketing. So that's how any company can fit in within the 3 functions. Okay, so or you can break these into multiple functions. ठीक है? For example, marketing can be broken down into sales and marketing. You might have seen distribution can also be part of that marketing department. Digital marketing, ठीक है, that can also be part branding, advertisement, brand communication. So you see there are many sub functions of a main marketing head. So but these, for example, you are about to start your own company or you have your own family owned business, so you must be good at 3 departments. And when you feel that your business is expanding and revenue is growing, so you need to break these departments into many. Okay, you can. But if you see over here, operations is the main head in which the supply chain and other department come, administration, security, and other comes. So if you want to improve the operations, your supply chain would be improved, your security would be improved, your other operations would be improved automatically. Next. When we talk about the manufacturing company, any manufacturing company, you see operations are more over here. So in totality, there are many operations over here. Facilities is also part of operation. Facility, what do we mean by facility? Any idea?
The company. A company where the work is done.
A company where work is done. You mean office?
Yes, sir.
ठीक. Branches, very good. ठीक है, तो branches, outlets, warehouses, factory, these all are part of facility. ठीक है? So when we talk about the facility, manufacturing comes with the facility. This is the facility of our university. We are over here in this facility. ठीक है? This is a facility, classroom facility. This is a campus facility. Production and inventory control is one of the category in the manufacturing operations. Okay, production and inventory control. In production, what you do, you produce goods, you schedule, and in inventory management, you basically control the incoming and outgoing of the goods. ठीक है? So goods, why do you keep the goods? Any idea? Why do we keep the goods? Why do we need to have the goods with us? Very good. Supply and demand. Okay, when there is a demand and we do not have supply, so the inventory is the buffer part. We provide the product to the customer. So when we do not have inventory, we say sorry. So there is no sorry when you have inventory. And there is no loss. Actually, there is no loss. Sorry is not a loss, but customer switching is a loss. And the zero sales is a loss. So you avoid the loss through inventory. Okay, this is a very important point. Quality assurance and control is also part in the operations. Quality assurance and control, you assure the quality of the product, that whatever you are producing is defect free, does not have defect. Because no customer can ever be satisfied with the defective product. Can you ever be satisfied with the product which is not working? आप उठा के फेंक देते हैं, आप कहते हैं what is this? ठीक है? So you need to have assure the quality. Plus you improve your revenue, you improve your sales. Like Sony, why do we prefer Sony? Because of its quality. Why do we prefer BMW? Because of its quality. So we prefer brand because of the quality assurance. So any good brand can never have the bad quality assurance and control. Remember, no high level brand can ever have the bad quality assurance and quality control. Keep writing it down, important points. Everyone, keep writing the important points. Repeat कर रहा हूं कि the brand can only be developed with the quality products. With the quality products. So quality assurance and quality control is part of operations. Quality assurance and quality control is part of operations. Brand can only be developed through quality assurance and quality assurance is a defect-free product. Quality assurance is a defect-free product. It does not have any defect. So you go for the brand only because of the better quality. ठीक है? And it can only be delivered through when the company assure the quality. Assure means verify, validate the quality. Control किसे कहते हैं? When you are producing the good, so you control it. You do not go out of that threshold. आप कहते हैं जी ये मार्कर है तो इस मार्कर की निब जो है वो इतने मिलीमीटर होनी चाहिए. It cannot be more than that. So that is the control. That you produce the product which is consistent. So every international product is consistent. Every big brand is consistent. International, why did I say international? Because the product can only be well accepted internationally if it is giving the consistent and promising quality. ठीक है? Otherwise, no one accepts. You see, there are few countries in the world. There are few countries in the world who have the big brands. For example, South Korea just appeared. ठीक है? Or you may say in the last decade, and they are keep building their brands. So their brands are keep going upwards because of the quality. ठीक है? तो brand development requires a lot of good quality. Anyway, any questions so far? Any questions so far? अच्छा जी. Then we talk about the supply chain management. You might have studied supply chain management, but I assume you have not. ठीक है? The supply chain is delivering the promise to customer, whatever the promise is, through the different stages. Different stages means starting from the supplier, manufacturer, distributor, retailer. You give the product to the customer. You give the product to the customer. So customer delivery is possible through supply chain because you acquire the raw material, okay, from across the world, wherever you get the best price and the specification, and you produce it. And when you produce it, it is good to deliver any customer, but you cannot approach to customer. Customer is spread across the world or the particular territories. So what do? You hire a distributor. So distributor distribute the product to different places. तब मुझे इसकी आवाज दो. ये बंद कर दो. हैं? बुरा मान गया? नहीं, यहाँ से नहीं हुआ है, पता है तुम्हें कहाँ? कर दे यार, कर दे. अच्छा जी, आप भी सोच रहे होंगे कि ये वीडियो का क्या कॉन्सेप्ट है. नहीं, बस ऑफ करना है. बंद हुआ? चलो जबरदस्त है. हमारे स्टूडेंट टेक्निकल भी. अच्छा जी, तो डू यू नो व्हाई आई एम मेकिंग दिस वीडियो? फॉर यू गाइस. अब आपने इसको देखना भी है और many of you do not come timely because of one or the other reason. ठीक है? And I assume that all are very critical. So you get late because of the critical reasons. So you can catch up my lecture through YouTube channel. ठीक है? So I am making this video available on the YouTube, inshallah, hopefully. जी? Bell icon. अच्छा जी, तो हम कहाँ थे? We were at the supply chain management. So supply chain management is basically delivering the promise to customer through different stages of supply chain. And stages are basically the mandatory stages. These are the mandatory stages. This is not the choice. For example, you have to procure the best in class raw material for your product so that you can satisfy the customer requirement, or you can fulfill your promise to the customer. The promise which done by the marketing team. Okay, everywhere. Okay, this kind of product you will be enjoying. So the operation team has to get the product ready, and the supply chain team has to arrange the raw material so that it can be manufactured and distributed to different places and to different retailers. ठीक है, तो ये concept है. I hope it is clear to you. Is it clear? Obviously, we are not talking in detail about supply chain. This is a separate course, but supply chain, you must know what is supply chain. Supply chain is supplying the goods to the customer. ठीक है? That's the easiest definition. Supplying the goods to the customer through different stages. Okay, so manufacturing, when we talk about the manufacturing, it comes with the fabrication assembly. For example, assembling of a product is also manufacturing. We buy the Toyota, we buy the Honda car. So it is basically being assembled in Pakistan. You might have known. Indus Motors assemble the Toyota cars. They do not manufacture it. So there's a difference between the assembling. Okay, let me tell you about what is assembling. Assembling is basically when you have different components and you join them together to make a product. So basically this is called assembling. So assembling is being done especially in the electronics, in the computers, in the computers industry. The assembling is being done across the world, not in Pakistan only. Let's talk about the design. So designing of the product development and design, detailed product specification. You see, product development and design is a very specialized field, and no company can launch a product without proper designing it. Okay? Designing requires a specialty. For example, you are about to launch an electronic product of your company. So you need to have the engineers with you so that they can design with the best in class technology, with the proper collaboration. So with the collaboration, they can come up with the best in class product. So it is also come in the operations of any manufacturing company. Industrial engineering, efficient use of machine, space and personnel. So this is also part of the operations in which you go with the efficiency. You reduce the cost. Cost effectiveness, cost efficiency is the primary goal of the operations. We create value with reducing the cost. So you see the efficient use of machines, because machine is very expensive. There must be no idle time. Idle time. Do you know what is idle time? Idle time is when the machine is not working at all due to some or the other reason. For example, electricity is gone away. There is no electricity. What happens? The machine is not working. So that is the idle time. Labor is there, everyone is there, material is there, but the machine is not working. That is the idle time. So we totally avoid the idle time so that we can get the most out of the machines. Space and personnel. Space and personnel. This is also very important. You do not, you do not waste the space. Especially this. Let me give you a very good example of that. This Tariq Road or Bahadrabad or the places like that. You see a very small stores there. Why? Any idea why? Because the space is very expensive. It is a very expensive place. The Bahadrabad, Tariq Road and the whole area is very, very expensive. So the shops are very limited. The space is very calculated. And they try to most out of it. Try to get the most out of that particular space. Space is management is also part of that. Personnel management is also part of that. You cannot make the labor stay and not working at all. ठीक है, you need to keep giving the tasks so that they can perform well and they can manufacture the product. So this is also very important. Process analysis, development and installation of production tools and equipment. Process analysis, we will be, I will be teaching you process analysis in the upcoming chapter. So process analysis is very, very important, in which you understand through which process you are producing the product. And you need to see that what are the companies who are following these processes and how efficiently you can produce the products through the particular process. So this is very important. Process analysis is very important so that you do not develop the product with the inefficient process. So when the process would be inefficient, the price would be high, the cost would be high. Very important. So process is very, very important. So we'll be discussing about the process analysis as well. ठीक है जी, यहाँ तक clear है? Any questions so far? Anything which you would like to ask? जी, anything which is unclear? हाँ जी, क्या नहीं हो रहा है? हाँ, कोशिश कर रहे हैं जी. कैमरा मेरे पर लगा है, आप लोग सब किस लिए कॉन्शियस हुए हैं? जी बताइए, बोलिए, टेल मी. एनी क्वेश्चन सो फार? एनीथिंग? अच्छा, I am touching upon the last topics which I taught you in the last class, and I am adding upon it. Since many students were not present, how many of you were not present in the last class? देखें, thank you very much. So this is a very good idea to teach you, and this is the best idea. Okay, I know that many of you would be using these videos, and it happens actually. It is my experience. Let's see. These are the operations being done in the different industry. You see, there are different industry: hotel industry, manufacturing, mass production, and the banking industry. In all industry, the operations is going on. Next. What is the objective of studying OM? I already discussed this topic, this idea before. So tell me, why are we studying OM? Why are we studying OM? Ji. Very good. Very good. Very good. Or anything else? Very good. जबरदस्त. Personnel जिसे कहते हैं, हमने बात की थी. Very good. जबरदस्त. और जी, not three functions, operations particularly, one of the three. Thank you. बिल्कुल सही जी. Costing, how efficient you can manage it. Very good. जबरदस्त जी.
So without operation, the organization cannot work.
Without operations, organization cannot work. बिल्कुल सही है. This is a mandatory operation. अच्छा, अब जो सबसे important point है, that is probably not the top of your mind, is we want to understand what operation managers do, because you are going to be manager. तो आपको what you have to see that what task you are going to do. So I will be discussing the case study, discussing the questions, making you understand the numericals. Why? So that you can be a good manager. And without numbers, you can never learn this. So you have to, if you are good at it, that this is great. If you are not, then you have to learn this idea. Okay? You have to good at numericals and numbers as well. Because without data, you can never improve your operations. And with data, you need to have formula and different techniques. Okay? Very, very important point. बाकी तो I guess every point is covered. अच्छा, ये I want you to write these 10, because these 10 will be I will be teaching these all 10 in different chapters.